Good morning. Have you ever visited a zoo? Do you have any experience with the animals? With the wild animals like tiger, lion? Let us learn a poem. A poem about animals by Hughes, the jaguar. Here is an image of jaguar. Look at his eyes. It is sharp, or it is sharp and bright. Okay, let us read the poem The Jaguar by Ted Hughes. The apes yawn and adore their fleas in the sun. The parrots shriek as if they were on fire, or strut like cheap tarts to attract the toddler with a nut. Fatigue with indolence, tiger and lion lie still as the sun. The boa constrictor's coil is a fossil. Cage after cage seems empty, or stings of sleepers from the breathing straw. It might be painter on a nursery wall. But who runs like the rest past these arrives at the cage where the crowd stands, stares and mesmerized as a child at a dream? At a jaguar hurrying enraged through prison darkness after the drills of his eyes on a short fierce fuse. Not in boredom, the eyes satisfied to the blind in fire. By the bang of blood in the brain, deaf the ear, he spins from the bars, but there is no cage to him. Modan to the visionary, his cell, his stride is wilderness of freedom. The world rolls under the long thrust of his heel. Over the cage floor, the horizons come. Below, apes, parrots, and even tiger or lion are fatigued or they are lazy. And at the next stanza, we saw a boa constrictor. It is a snake, a snake. And poet is saying that boa constrictor's foil is like a fossil. It is not moving. These animals are still in their caves or they are making some distracting noises. But jaguar is powerful. Jaguar is moving around his cave. We saw in the poem some four-line stanzas. And the poem moves from one cage to the next by following the crowd visiting the zoo to the jaguar's cage. And some lines are end stopped, while others employ enjambment to create fluidity. Do you know what is enjambment? Enjambment is a poetic device. Simply, we can say it is a long sentence. Long sentence using in literary writings is known as enjambment, and it is using to give some effect to that literary work. Let us look at the stanzas in detail. The apes yawn and adore their fleas in the sun. The parrots shriek as if they were on fire, or strut like cheap tarts to attract the toddler with the nut. Fatigue with indolence, tiger and lion. The apes yawn and adore. It shows the spiritless condition of these animals created by the engaged lifestyle. And the parrots shriek as if they were on fire. Poet is comparing the parrots with some cheap tarts for stroller, attracting stroller with nuts. And tiger and lion are fatigued with the indolence. They are lazy. They are deprived of their natural habitat. Lie still as the sun. The boa constrictor's coil is a fossil. Cage after cage seems empty or stings of sleepers from the breathing straw. It might be painted on a nursery wall. Tiger and lion are lying still as the sun. This shows the state of caged animals without energy. Even tiger and lion have no energy. They are not active, they are lazy. And the boa constrictor's coil is a fossil. Here, poet is using a metaphor and he is comparing the boa constrictor's coil, its tail, to a fossil. It is not moving and it reveals the emptiness of the caged life. Animals are reduced to a purely uninspiring biological condition. Cage after cage seems empty or stings of sleepers from the breathing straw. Please note the word sleepers. It might be painted on a nursery wall. All animals are sleepers. All are lazy. All are lying still as the sun. It shows the emptiness of caged life. And it might be painted on a nursery wall. What is saying that those animals he saw in the zoo is like some painting on a nursery wall. Animals are so lifeless that they could be a painting that holds no threat. And in the next stanza, but who runs like the rest past these arrives at the cage where the crowd stands, stares, mesmerized as a child at a dream. Note, please note the change in rhythm and change in diction as the crowd approaches the jaguar's cage. All are standing, staring, and mesmerized while looking at a jaguar, hurrying enraged through prison darkness after the drills of his eyes. Here, poet is using a contrast to the other animals. Jaguar contrasts with the rest of animals. On a short fierce fuse, not in boredom, the eye satisfied to be blind in fire. By the buying of blood in the brain, deaf the ear, he spins from the bars, but there is no cage to him. The jaguar attracted all the crowd, and jaguar possesses energy and restlessness. Other animals are lazy, but jaguar is energetic and active. Jaguar's spirit cannot be contained in a cage, so there is no cage to him. Modan to the visionary, his cell. His stride is wilderness of freedom. The world rolls under the long thrust of his heel. Over the cage floor, the horizon came. The horizons come. Here, poet begins the last stanza with a superlative expression, Modan, which shows the status of jaguar in the cage or in the zoo. So, he has some sort of domination over other animals in the world. And poet is saying that, poet is concluding his poem by saying that the world rolls under the long thrust of his heel, the jaguar's heel. Over the cage floor, the horizons come. So, this is a beautiful poem with a lot of animal imagery, similes, and metaphors by Hughes. Hughes is famously known as animal poet because of his animal theme in his poems.